Welcome to Interesting News with Phoenix. I am your girl, Phoenix. Today, I want to come and talk to you about the topic of a judge overturning his own guilty ruling, which leads me to the question of how much power is too much power? What am I talking about? You're wondering? All right, let's get into it. There was a young woman that was hard at a Gracie, Grace. Yeah, sorry about that. My little puppy. There was a young lady that was art at a party. She got drunk, she passed out. When she woke up, there was someone uh having their way with her, and she was able to get out of the situation and to remove herself from it. It went to court, but it was a judge ruling, from my understanding. Initially, the judge did find the young man guilty as a mandatory sentencing for an 18-year-old, which the young man had just turned 18. 2 weeks prior to, I guess, sentencing, or 2 weeks prior to the incident. I'm not really sure which one it was. But either way, the young man was 18 when the ruling came down, which my understanding is the if you're found guilty of that type of incident, it is a mandatory 4 years. So the judge does find the young man guilty, sentences. He gets sent off. Later, the judge then comes back and overturns his own ruling. No new evidence. Uh, based upon what was in front of the judge, there's no understanding of why he changed his mind. And so he ends up saying that the young man served 5 months, that was enough, that he didn't feel like the young man deserved to basically have his whole life taken away from him and destroyed because he had, only turned 18 2 weeks ago. But the young man committed a heinous crime. There's no and I saw an interview with the judge, and a judge said, well, to justify him changing his mind, he says, well, I didn't believe her. I thought she was lying, but I didn't want to say that in court. Well, mind you, you didn't think she was lying the first time. When you looked at the evidence the first time, you found the young man guilty based upon the evidence. Then you later come and you take that same evidence and you're now saying, "Oh well, I think excuse me. I think he served enough time, but by the way, I also think she's lying." That's just insane to me. So, guys, I just want to know, should a judge be able to overturn their own decision without any new evidence in a case? All right. So go ahead and comment down below if you've seen this story, if you know what I'm talking about. What are your thoughts on it? Uh, But this is just something, when I seen it, it just blew me away. It just kind of took my breath away, because that young lady could be any one of us, could be our mothers, could be our daughters. And so we would all want to know that if we received justice, that justice is going to stick, that somebody's not going to come back later and say, "Oh, well, I think that was a mistake," especially the person that made, if it's the same person that made the initial decision, and then there was no explanation to why he changed his mind, to why he decided to go with not guilty versus guilty with no new evidence. He didn't even have to explain that. So now this young lady doesn't have justice, but not only does she not have justice, she doesn't even have an explanation of why that justice is being taken from her, why someone is being put back into the world to potentially go and do the same thing to someone else. So, again, I thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what are your thoughts on this particular situation. And I look forward to bringing you more interesting news. Thanks. Bye.